Yo, what's up epic gamers, my name is Fox and welcome to another video of mine. In this video I'm just gonna go over the mechanics of Eden's vs 8 Savage, okay? Very simple, I'm just gonna explain them all. But this is not gonna be an absolute guide, right? Remember this is day 1 strats, we proc this, figured it out and then went with it. So there could be more optimals out there, this is just more explanation of how the mechanics work. So if you're progging this right now and you have a problem somewhere and you can't determine how it works, I'm gonna explain this, okay? Alright, let's start. Absolute 0 is gonna be the first AoE damage. Just have Adel, Reprisal on it, and a Sucker, and you'll be fine. No worries about this. It hits pretty hard though without mitigation, so be careful. Then she casts Mirror Mirror, which will be a cast she does quite a lot of times in the fight, right? Mirror Mirror is one of the, I think, the most used casts in this fight, which means that she will spawn mirrors on the outer of the arena. For this here, right? Now this is hard to see because of my camera angle, but here is a red mirror, here is a green mirror, and here's another green mirror on the east side of the screen. What's important to note for every mirror mechanic is that green mirrors will always mimic her ability first. So green first, then red. So they will now mimic the next ability again. So let's check out what's gonna be the next ability. It's gonna be Driving Frost. There we go. Driving Frost is a back cone AoE, so from the back positionals basically, she's gonna do an AoE like this. So don't stand here, go to the front. How to remember this? Driving Frost, driver, if you want to drive you have to be in the front, very simple. Go to the front, be done with it. Again though, the mirrors will mimic her ability. So this is a back cone, right? So they will do the same. They will basically do this here, right? Like this. And this one will also do this. So, safe spot is here. There. Very simple to see this. This is gonna be a safe spot. Right here next to the, on the 2 side basically is gonna be a safe spot. So we're gonna bring the boss now there. To not get hit by this mechanic. Easy peasy. Now it resolves. There you go. Alright, as you can see, conal from here, conal from there. Very simple. Now the red mirror will mirror this, so that means the conal will start from there, which means that this spot is not safe anymore, but this spot next to that mirror will be safe. Nothing special about this, pretty easy. Once you have the hang of it, you know where to go for the safe spot. Now she casts Down Frost, which is the first more interesting mechanic. Let's go over this pretty fast, not to waste too much time, because it's not too hard. Alright, starts off 2 debuffs on the tanks, make sure to Izuna those, cleanse those. Then we'll have 4 AoE markers on 2 DPS, 1 tank and 1 healer, which means that they have this part. There's basically 2 parts of the mechanic for everyone. Either it's these markers or you'll have the second part, which I'll get to afterwards. If you have the marker here, make sure to place them on the edge here, right? Here, basically on this line, intercardinal edge line, however you want to call it, just place them there and you'll be fine because they will shoot AoEs afterwards. And your safe zones are going to be then basically like triangles around the middle, okay? They're not, the middle is not safe, but triangles are basically here is going to be safe. Like this space right here will be safe if you place them like that. So that's basically all the AoE people have to do. You also should be, if you are, especially if melee, you should use arm flanks on knockback that will follow, because you don't want to get knocked back and lose uptime. So arm flanks and knockback there and you'll be done. For everyone that does not have a marker, this part you need to pay attention to where the Shiva AoE spawns, right? There you go, there's one on the north, one on the south. They can also spawn east and west. If you are tank and melee, I suggest to get knocked to north and west it was we chose. So we had north and west for the melees, east and south for the healers and range DPS. Well, we're going to see how this happens now. So our people with the AoE placed them on the edge. You can see it's placed on the edge perfectly the way it should be. And now the other AoE start, but you don't really care about these areas. You don't need to care about them. You're going to be out of this, and this one's going to disappear, the south one, before we get knocked into it. So very simple. If you now are a melee, or a DPS rather, and you did not have the first mechanic, now comes the second part. 4 tank and healers. One tank and 1 healer get a flare marker, which will proximity damage. So have them be on opposite cardinals. You see here is another flare marker. This will go south, this will go north. And I will also get knocked back. This is now the DPS part of mechanic. So the tank, every mechanic is resolved besides one, which is the DPS part that didn't have an AoE marker to start. So basically now I'll get these puddles that I have to, 3 of them that I have to dodge and do not put them in the group, because look, there's people like our Scholar, the Ninja, The other tank, all of the ones that did not have the second mechanic now have a heavy on them. So if you place them around them, they will die. Like, they will not be able to dodge these. Now we have Biting Frost. This is the opposite of the other mechanics. So if you had, we had Driving Frost. Okay, so this is not going to be Biting Frost. Biting Frost is basically beyond the back, right? It's going to be an AoE around her completely besides the back. So basically Biting Frost, but beyond the butt. Biting beyond the butt. Very simple to remember. It's always the opposite of the first one here, by the way. We're now going to see a Tank Buster, which is a one-hit Tank Buster, which will put a vulnerability on the tank, so you have to swap. Very important. Swap after this Tank Buster. Oh yeah, and we have the look away mechanic, very simple. If she starts glowing in this yellowish light, look away, turn away, face away, nothing special about this, otherwise you get stunned, and which will maybe fuck you up for the next mechanic. Now she will do a either Chariot or Dynamo. For those that don't know what it is, Dynamo means inside of the hitbox, Chariot means outside of the hitbox, which is determined by the name Axe or Scythe, right? So this is the Scythe kick, which means that she will be doing a Dynamo, right? She uses her foot, if you like to look at animation, and you have to be inside of her. She can also do an Axe kick here, which will be Chariot, so then you have to be outside. It's good to remember what she does here, because this will be the opposite of what the next mechanic will do. Alright, now we'll have the first probably hard mechanic, Light Rampant, which was interesting to figure out. Alright, so what does Light Rampant do? First of all, you notice how some people have a debuff of none, some have one, some have two, so this is going to be important for the very last phase to look at your debuff, make sure you see it on your screen. What happens now is there's going to be 4 towers and people will be chained, right? You see here people are chained to each other. Now it's important that these chains are not too far away nor too close. This is very, very important, otherwise they will just start triggering and they will kill everyone. So go into the towers, pre-position, right? There you go, there's the towers. Pre-positioning those. Now, the way we handled this, which is very interesting, which also, it was not too bad the way we handled this, is that we had the chain people take the 4 first towers and the second towers, because there will be another set appearing here on the 2 edges on north and south, okay? And what we did is that we made sure that the people that were tethered from west to east were not tethered to each other. Here you see our summoner and the machinist were tethered. So what's happening now is that they're gonna swap. Look at this. We rotate, boom. We have an hourglass, but our people that are standing west and east are not tethered. None of them. This is because they will get close to each other to take the towers on north and south, so that they don't trigger the chains. Otherwise, this will not work. You have enough time to pre-position before the chains kind of lock in, right? As you can see now also here, there's balls spawning on the outside on the cardinals. What we did is very simple. We had the people that have the ball tethers go to the next cardinal to basically drag them along. You cannot touch them. They cannot touch anyone else. Otherwise, it will be boom boom when it's too early. So just look at this, how this all plays out now. The towers are being taken, right? Nothing special. I move now because I have the west mall. I move to the north. Very simple. And I'll wait here a bit. Yeah, it's a bit... This is probably not the best threat for uptime. There will be one that comes out at some point where people think about some galaxy brain shit to keep uptime. For now, this worked for us. It doesn't lose me too much uptime, but it's still kind of a cock for me at least. As you can see, what just happened is there were protein waves. These protein waves are baited by the people closest to Shiva. So these are going to be on the first people that take the towers here. So you need to be on the cardinal to avoid these. Next step will be the people with the chains move closer together. Okay, they take the second tower because there needs to be 2 people in that tower. Very simple. They take the tower, boom, right? Chain will now disappear. Now all of the people with the balls move intercardinal in. Right, you can see how they will now, the chain people will now disengage a bit to make sure they're going to hit by the ball explosion. And the people with the balls are now moving intercardinal to bait the next set of proteans. Right, balls are exploding. They give you 1 stack here, look at this, right? So I got another stack. So if people like if someone here, if for example here Zappi Monado would have gotten hit with the ball, he would have gotten 5 stacks, boom, 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 vibe. And now the Proteans, there you go, safe spots are on the north and south. We baited them by being close. And now comes the last part of this mechanic, which is the last tower, which requires 4 people with only 3 stacks. So if you have 3 stacks at this point, all balls dead, all towers taken besides the last one, and you have a number 3, you need to take this tower here. This is super important. If you have 4, it's gonna be boom, 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 wipe. So 3 people move in, done. That's basically the mechanic. There's different ways to handle this. This is just an explanation of how it works. I hope makes sense. So I hope you'll manage to do this mechanic. As you saw, another mirror cast. Now this is basically the mechanic she will do now is the opposite of before. So we had Dynamo, the Scythe in. She will do the axe kick now, right? Very simple. There's mirrors here spawning, 4 of them. You can't see them, but there's 4 of them on every cardinal. They can also spawn intercardinal. Remember that. Alright, so look, she does now the axe kick. There you go. So we have to go out. This is a chariot. There you go. You see all 4 mirrors. And now all mirrors will, of course, mirror this ability. So you have a chariot on every mirror. One here, one here, one here, one here. Which means the safe spot is in the middle. Middle is the safe spot. We all go to the middle, and now we'll have stack markers appear. I'm gonna get to the stack markers soon after you see the... Okay, there you go. The dynamos, the chariots resolved. Okay, and now we go back because there's something happening. There is the stack markers are fake, right? There's either a fake or real stack marker. You can determine this by different things. Number 1 is the orbs above her head. Right, so basically, I've never seen this because I just don't have the camera angle. I didn't pay attention to it because in this phase you can also pay attention to the stack markers. If they have some circle around them, they're fake and they will mean spread. What you would do in normal cases, you had the 4 groups on the intercardinals or cardinals stack, of course, with 2 people on each. And if you have a circle, you need to spread. So basically, we are now going into our spread positions. Very simple. Boom, spread out, done. Alright, that's basically the first part. Now we get to add phase. You want to push it probably to 70% here. 71 is tricky, 70 is okay. Most people clear with 70, I think. 69, of course, is better. Alright, the add phase basically is... Oh yeah, by the way, for those people that don't know, the right side and the left side have different spawns of the ads. So you're just gonna see the left side of the spawns, right? So the right side has a bit different way of spawning. They don't spawn more ads, they just spawn in a different order, basically. Alright, so add phase, few things. Aqueous Ether, nothing special, just lots of HP, kill it, have your melee DPS on it, I suggest. Then Electric Ether, which will cast a buff on themselves or debuff, whatever, and when you hit them you'll take damage. DPS take around 10k damage, healers, tanks around 6k. Then I just personally kill the Aqueous myself. I also stun it at some point, maybe not in this clip, but I usually do. But our tank now takes care of the tether, which I will get to later, but he also kills the electrics because he takes less damage from them. Alright, another Earthen. Oh yeah, this is now Earthen. Earthen basically can cast a Stone Skin on themselves, right? For those of you that are new, Stone Skin used to be an ability in Final Fantasy XIV that's basically putting a shield, like an Adlo, but it doesn't decrease over time. It has a fixed value and it doesn't decrease. It was like lasting like 10 minutes or something, and you would get hit for 0, and that's basically what they're casting. So if you let them cast their whole thing, there you go, we interrupted it always, Stone Skin, and you would do 0 damage to them. They don't have a lot of HP, so you can easily burst them before the cast actually finishes. Let's get to the next mechanic, which is the tether, right? I'm gonna actually explain this when you see it more visible. It's very simple, just intercept the tether and change around, that's it. There's nothing much to do. Now again, now we burst the Earthen before it can even cast it. There you go, Stone Skin is being casted, burst it down, unlucky. Here we have then the tether mechanic, so there's going to be this thing spawning on the edge. Half people intercept this, right? You can also have a tank take this twice with Living Dead or Hallowed Ground, whatever, but only one person usually can take this. It does also damage, so make sure to heal them appropriately, and that's it. Nothing special about it, right? Just the tether. Another Aqueous, we just burn it down, that's it. Now 2 electrics again on this side, burn them down after the Aqueous. Just... yeah, the ad phase is not very hard, to be honest. Make sure, try to not let any of these heads go in, because you get, if you have 0 of the gauge here, you'll get the secret Ligma buff, which people were talking about, which is around 1% to 2% maximum in DPS. It's really, really not noticeable, and it doesn't make a huge difference. Alright, ad phase is over, we restart again. There you go, there's this secret buff people are talking about. We got this buff on day 1 already once, and this was like, I don't know, we never noticed it. Like, the difference is so minimal. I don't know. It's not huge. This is also where you want to pot mostly, right? So first potion is going to be at the start, second potion here. Oh yeah, Akmorn. Akmorn can be... No, that's... sorry, yeah. Akmorn will be handled this way, that you have 2 groups. Quick march groups, basically. Left group 4 people, right group 4 people. Tank healer, DPS. Soak this up. It's going to be 3 hits now. Very simple. Just mitigate through it, heal it, blah, blah. You know the drill. Now comes the Mornifar. Mornifar can either be handled 2 ways. One, it will always be on the main tank. So in our case, which is SK Scholar, which will now Living Dead this. Or you can have the whole group stack for it. That's up to you, your choice, whatever more comfortable for you and your healers. I do suggest to have one at least being Living Dead or Hallowed, especially in the last phase. You can see the cast going off. He's in the front, so he'll get hit by this now, boom. This can also be soaked by the whole party together. Well, now the first mirror mechanic again, which is again there's gonna be 3 mirrors spawn, I think. Yeah, and she does then a wing mechanic, which is similar to Godka mechanic for those of you that have done that. So you can see here's a green mirror. That's my camera POV really doesn't show this well. There's a red mirror here, which you could have just spotted. There's a red one here, and there's a blue one here. There's a new mirror, which we didn't see yet. This is blue, which will mimic her ability the same time she casts it. So blue, same time, green, short delay, red, long delay, alright? So, there's a blue mirror here. Alright, let's take a look at this. So, she does the left wing cast, okay? Which means that the left side of her, facing north here, will be unsafe. The same goes now for the blue mirror on the east of the map. This guy will do the same. So, he will cast a left wing, which means that this part of the arena, the whole south part, will not be safe. So west and south are unsafe, which means that the safe spot here is on 2. Right? We all move over to 2. Boom. The green mirror will now do the same. Alright, the green mirror will use the same. He will also do left wing again. In this case, it can also be right wing if you had the first one right wing. Right, but the left wing will now be again replicated. So, which means that the east part of the map, because the green mirror is here, right, it's on the north, which means that the east part of the map will not be safe. Alright, let's take a look at this. There we go. Boom. Like I said, east part of the map not safe. Now we have the last part of the mechanic. She now does the right wing, and the red mirror will mirror this, okay? So right wing, which means again that the east part of the map will not be safe. And then, since the, the red mirror will mirror this, you'll also have the same going there. There you go. These will always happen at the same time. Right, so basically, again, the mirrors will all mirror the first she does. So if she does left wing, they will all do left wing. You can see the red mirror here also did left wing, right? It's the, if you look at the mirror from the mirror into the arena, it's the left side of the mirror that is not safe, and she did right wing. So, which means that this is because of her, this part here, and the other part is because of the mirror. I hope this makes sense to you. Might look complicated, but it's not. The mirrors all mirror exactly what she does in the first cast, alright? Alright, Worm's Lament. Interesting mechanic, I like it. Pretty fun. Basically, healers and tanks get a red debuff. These DPS get a blue debuff. Red means you have to run into the dragon head, and that will leave a puddle behind, which will be soaked by the blue debuffs. There's different timers on each, so you have a fixed order. This is very important. So look at the timer, make sure to write them down. I don't know by heart now. I think it's like 20, 28, 34, 44 for blue, and I did not get red there because it's always on DPS, so I don't know these timers. But make sure to communicate with your group which timer you have and when you have to go in, right? So this mechanic is happening while she does the wings mechanic again. So it's very important that you're on the safe side and don't run in like an idiot, okay? So here you go. Left side ain't not gonna be safe, so everyone moves to the right side. I can pick this up. I am the first one. I have the short blue, so I'm gonna go pick this up now. Because it's on... I can pick this because there's a part of it's on the safe side, right? If I move into the middle of this, I might be dead, right? There you go. There's the castle, so if I would have been in this dead, of course. So make sure to pay attention. Also make sure to pay attention because the explosion of the heads actually does quite a lot, has a lot of AoE around him, and it will kill you. So make sure to stay in the middle of the hitbox here, like close to the hitbox, and don't run out. Basically, it's wings, pick up, explode, wings, pick up, explode, wings, pick up, blah 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 blah. There you go. He goes out, he comes back in, we wait. Now goes the next blue out, and it's very very simple. Next mechanic will make the floor freeze, so make sure not to move here, right? If you move here, you're gonna slide off. I mean, depends where you are. If you're on the edge of the arena, no, but if you are in the middle to attack, as everyone should be, also get heals, you will slide off, so do not move. After this, she will start casting Stillness or Silence. They will indicate two casts, right? It's always Twin Silence or Twin Stillness. Twin Silence is first front is safe, then back is safe. Twin Stillness means back is safe to front is safe, alright? How to remember this? For me, Twin Silence means mouth, silent the mouth, I don't know, just go to the front first and then move to the back. Twin Stillness, I'm on the back already, so I'm just gonna stand still and then move to the front, right? You're gonna see how this is gonna be executed. It's very fast, so make sure to move appropriately. But wait until this disappears, right? It's very important, right? If you move now, right, there you go, it disappears, you have enough time, move to the front, silence, and then even while this is still happening, I already moved to the back. There you go. Double slap, just the same as before. Tank buster. Tank swap. Nothing special about here. We'll now have, I think we call them mitigation mirrors. Oh, you know, we have actually, never mind. We have the stack mechanic. This is like E8S for those that have done it. Bait AoEs on the back, wait for the wings to go out, right? You will see, there you go, wings go out, this means the bait is done, and now move out. You can move anywhere, just don't be on the back where you just baited. Boom, there you go, mechanic resolved. This will come back several times, so make sure to learn this wing mechanic. Then we have mirror, again. This should be the, yeah, this will be the mitigation mirrors because they require quite a lot of healing and mitigation, so make sure to use everything that you need here. What will happen is she teleports and will do a frontal AoE, and the mirrors will do the same. They will do a frontal AoE. You cannot get hit by hers. So go to the back of hers, right? We will go now to the back. You can see me already jumping. And then blue and red mirror will of course again, not blue, green and red mirror will then of course mimic it. Green first, red later. So what happens here? Right, it happens, boom. Now what's important is that every pushback of the mirrors will give a magic vuln up to the first 4 people. Okay, the first 4 people get a magic vuln, so you have to use 2 groups. And the tank needs to be in front of the group. So basically what we'll do is group 1 tank, rest of the group, then it's gonna be the next tank and the rest of that group, okay? We do it a bit differently. We use Hello Ground here just to make it simpler because there's also auto attacks going out and stuff like that. So it makes it a bit different. It's gonna look a bit sketchy, but it works too. What I've seen already people do, what you can do, if you are able to press your arm's length on the correct moment, you can actually immunity knockback those both, right? And you can just have a group on the right side and on the left side standing and keep attacking her. This is probably the best way to handle this, which will also be done at some point, so why not do it already? It is gonna be a very close thing, right? So currently what I would probably suggest is to knock back immunity the second hit, right? That's probably what I would do. But yeah, let's see how the mechanic resolves. We go to the edge, we have the Zervimonado, our paladin, in the front. He'll just Hello Ground this. And then you see the rest of his group, right? This is the rest of his group. You have the healer, the melee, and the ranged, all 4 in the front, okay? You get hit, boom. Those got now a, look, they got a magic vulnerability. All 4 that I just mentioned. Now we'll have, of course, we already are in position due to the knockback. Here is his group again, but Zervi, because he's using Hollow Ground, will now take the first hit again to make Scala take less hit our off tank. This is just what we did. You don't need to do this, right? Which means he replaces Skyla in this. So we have now the rest 3 people here, which is Nyari, which is Chayo, right? They will now also, there was something that went wrong here actually, because Scala should not have debuff, which means that he got hit instead of our machinist. So we'll now have the other people get the debuff, right? It wasn't executed properly, but due to us using the Hollow Ground strat, it didn't matter and it all worked out in the end. Because the first 4 people get the debuff. That's important. We'll now have Mirror Mirror again. This is gonna petrify mirrors. Now, we do this in a very unoptimal way. What I suggest you to do, move her to the edge. Move her intercardinal. Move her right to the intercardinal. It will make this mechanic so much easier. I'm still gonna explain what happens. So basically, we have a blue mirror on north and south. We have red mirrors on east and west. They will be mimicking her look away cast. It's a petrifying cast, basically. You're gonna get stunned. So if you look at the mirror or her while she casts it, you will be stunned. Alright, so the way I handle this is basically I move first to the red mirror, because there you can see this is blue mirror, so it will mimic immediately. Green is delayed and red is long delay. Alright, there it goes, the cast. You will see how it now also comes from the north and south. Look at this. So I'm gonna try to, there you go. There's a, see, she did the cast and there's a cast from the mirrors. You can see it on the floor. If I continue the replay now, boom. So that's basically from north, south and the middle. So you have to look into somewhere else. Alright, now comes the next cast, which will be there. You can always look at your cast bars, by the way, of the enmity bar. You will see when it goes off. She will then also do Holy, which is either a AoE inside of her or outside of the arena, right? Very important. That is going to be outside or inside. I'm going to be honest, I do not know exactly how to tell the difference. I know it has to do something with the orbs. I think these orbs mean it's going to be outside. Pretty sure. Because this is the same as in the first mechanic. If she does a mechanic and puts orbs above her head, it means basically she's faking it. So this is going to be fake and the orbs are going to be outside. That's probably what it is. I am not 100% sure and I cannot guarantee this though. But this is also what happened on the first stacks, right? So orbs above her head, she's doing a bait. And now at this time also the mirrors will go off, right? So there goes the intercardinal green mirrors and then there's going to be only the red mirrors that are remaining. There you go, outside orbs, and we stand in the middle. Pretty simple. Again, so the way I handled this is I moved to the red mirror first, looked at it, then I moved to the where the blue mirror was, so where it already happened, and look at those, and then I just move and look anywhere besides where the red mirrors are. That's it. She will follow this up with either Spiteful Dance or I think the card is called Embittered Dance. Okay, so there's gonna be a Chariot and Dynamo or a Dynamo and Chariot. So in and out or out and in. Very simple. Spiteful Dance. How to remember this? Shout out to Zep for explaining this so gently. Spiteful Dance, she wants to spit on you, get the fuck out. So we get out because we don't want to get hit by the spit, right? And then, of course, we're going to go in. There you go. Alright, this can also be the opposite, and it's called Embittered Dance. How do I remember that? Very simple. Embittered Dance, she wants to embrace us, right? And we want to be in the middle for that. So, first then, for that part, it would be first Dynamo and then Chariot. And you gotta do these things in progression to help you out with casts, right? Because that just makes it so much easier. Alright, again, mirror, mirror. And I think this is gonna be the baiting part. Yeah. Okay, so again, we have here a big red mirror, which will then, of course, means that we'll have to bait. Alright. There you go. She will do the wings. Okay, this means the bait is over. It's in her back. Done. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Here is the cast bar for the red mirror, okay? So we will again have to bait now. So we move from the back to the front. Bait it there. And now we move. The tricky part here is that this is followed up by an Agmorn. Maybe this wasn't obvious. Let me go back a bit to make this more obvious, right? There is the Agmorn cast also, which she casts at the same time. So make sure that you do not, like, if you stand still, you're gonna die, right? So you have to bait them somewhere and then move into your positions of your quick march groups, okay? So we move then into our quick march groups, 4 and 4, and soak the Agmorn. And this is followed up with Monafar even. Look, there's the Monafar cast, so stack up or invul this, whatever you want to do. It's gonna be on the main tank, right? So there's it shared, because the other one we had the main tank take. Alright, now comes the second set of towers, which at first, holy shit, looked very interesting, but it's actually pretty easy to resolve. Again, this might not be the best strat to use it, but I'm gonna explain what happens. First off, can I really start? First off, we'll have a frozen debuff on 4 people, which needs to be Izunat on the 2 DPS, right? So here we go. 2 DPS get the debuff, which need to be Izunat on the DPS. Tanks will have to use this debuff. This is very important. Don't Izunat the tanks. Alright, let's move on. We'll now have, again, the healers and tanks tethered to each other. Just like in the first phase where it was random, this time it's always healers and tanks. Healers and tanks go into the towers, okay? And they will go, we'll have the... Let me remember this correctly. Yeah, we have then, of course, AoEs on the DPS. Move out, place me into Cardinal, just like in the first phase, okay? Alright, so what's important here is that on the... there will be towers spawning on east and west. That means your healers will always be in the east and west towers. This is very, very important because they will get knocked back. The Draconic Strike will knock people back. I think it's the... Yeah, that's the knock... Exactly, that's the knockback. So, 2 towers appears on the east and west. Healers take this tower. Healers need to be in the east and west towers and then they get knocked back into the other towers. Very simple. Tanks get frozen. If they don't, they will also get knocked back and the tether will break. Okay? There is no weird positioning, just a normal square, boom. Now healers get knocked back into the tower, so do the DPS. Okay, here we go. This is now what I mean. Tanks are frozen inside of the middle. Healers get knocked back into the towers, they take them, and here is the AoEs we place on the intercardinal DPS, okay? Now the remaining DPS, all 4 of them, will get again this debuff, but they also have heavies, so we have to kite these, right? This is... Now what's important here that I noticed late into progression is that you have to be close for the last puddle, because if you have 2 stacks here, you need to get into that tower, and this is pretty random because it depends on what you get at the start. You can get 0 or 1. So for example, here in this example, Shalfu has 2 stacks, the Lalafell Ninja. So he needs to be inside of the tower. I don't need to be inside because I have 3 stacks, but the tube gamers need to be inside. So don't dodge them around the arena, dodge them inside. So basically 2 on the outside and then the last one inside. There you go. Now we're all close. House of Light, last tower. Everyone that has 2 stacks goes in, everyone else stays out. Very simple. Now comes next mechanic, which is actually House of Light cast, which is Protein Waves. So just get into your protein position, flamethrower position, whatever you want to call it, be in your position. Boom. If there's now anyone that has 4 stacks, that would mean death, because you get to 5. Boom, death. So yeah. Alright, next mechanic. Mirror again. We'll have a big red mirror appear. Everyone go north. Bait the AoE there, because the mirror will just bait, would replicate the ground freezing, right? We'll have a ground freezing now. There you go. Ground is frozen. Ground will unfreeze. Now this is a debate basically. Don't fall for this, because she will now also do the mechanic where you have to bait the big AoE that we baited already a few times, okay? The mirror will though be there, and if you're not on the edge of the arena, you'll fall off, okay? So now, if you look at her, you see how she does the wing mechanic to bait the stack, the A11S mechanic, right? So we bait, we wait until we freeze, and then we move over, right? There's the bait, boom, there it is. Perfectly in time, but the floor freezes, and now we all slide over. Very simple, just move all to A, wait until the floor freezes again, and then just, like, slide over. Here is also, by the way, where you probably want to use your last potion. There's probably better ways to use this, but we did it this way and it worked out just fine. Alright, now basically starts the last phase of the fight. If you're done with this phase, you've seen everything and you can wipe to Enrage. Again, we have Worm's Lament, right? You remember the mechanic before where the DPS get blue debuff and the healers and tanks get red debuff. This time it's random basically. DPS can get blue or red, right? It's just always going to be though... It is, I think... I'm not sure it is completely random. I think, no. It is random for the DPS. You can get blue or red as DPS, but the healers and tanks, they can also always get it in pairs. So it's always going to be 2 tanks that have it or the 2 healers that have it, right? Again, red and blue. Red means going to the dragon head. Blue means pick up the puddle left behind. Now what's important here, she's casting Akmorn, right? So we stand there, we're taking the Akmorn as a group, as always, and once the... I think it's... 4 hits. Yeah, she increases the amount of hits here. This is important, right? She's going to be doing 4 hits. 5 hits even. My bad. 5 hits here. And she'll do 6 hits next one and 7 hits the other one. How to handle this, right? To explode the dragons now. So 5 hits of Agmorn. Have the 2 tanks now, which are red here. This can also be blue. Run out. I actually think it's always red on the tanks. I'm not quite sure, but you know how it works, right? Now we have Mornefa, which is a stack. You can either Living Dead this or you can stack it with the group, up to you. After the Mornefa, our healers are going to run out and pick up their puddle. There you go. They run out, pick up puddle, come back in. Akmorn again. So heal up, make sure. Also here, because healers have to run out. And I'm 99% sure this is fixed. It's always tank red and healers blue. 99% sure. Right, very important here, make sure that DPS use their healing ability, because the healers are moving out and they can't cast as much, right? So now we have 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go, 6 casts. I move out, I have red, I trigger the dragon head. There you go, move back in. The same was done on the other side. Mornefa, stack up, hit it. Now the 2 blue DPS go out, take it. Akmorn. This one, again, 7 hits of Akmorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There you go. Mornefa, I think this one is Living Dead. Yeah, we have now Living Dead, Mornefa, and that's basically it. That's the fight. You're done. I hope you guys were able to understand the mechanic you were stuck on or something like that. I hope this is clear to everyone. I will probably make a real guide at some point. I'm just very busy right now. So I hope this will help you still to clear this. I'm also going to try to make a written guide. And most of all, I hope you guys have, you know, best of luck to clear this. Alright, also very important, stand behind her here for the enrage. Just stand behind her. Okay? You don't want to die early here. If you die early and you wipe to 1%, people are going to hate you, okay? So make sure to stand behind her here. Right. And then the mirrors will enrage cast. Boom. Alright, just fun fact, we killed this while we already received the damage, right? Here's the damage and we still killed it. So very close and tight enrage. Again, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are able to clear this now. Good luck for week 1 gamers that are still trying, and good luck to everyone else, of course, that are not doing hardcore progression. Love you, boys.